female body. We don't know if it's her or what, but we have a female body.
Have you talked to her dad this morning?
Yeah.
He hasn't heard from her either?
No.
Okay.
And I can't talk to him because he just scares me. Because he just says she's in a ditch dead.
Little sis is what you're referring to her as?
Yeah, she's called me big brother since like my 8th grade year.
When we started out today, I just wanted the truth from you, okay? And then the story changed. The story's changed again. The story's changed again. Okay? I need to get the whole truth.
On the morning of March 3rd, 2025, Albuquerque police responded to an emergency call at an apartment on San Pablo SE, where firefighters were desperately trying to save the life of a 7-month-old baby. At first, it was treated as a medical situation, with the family claiming the child had simply been sick and never woke up from sleep. But within minutes, as the scene became clearer, the details began to no longer match the original story.
Okay, so is it son or daughter?
Daughter.
Daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. What is daughter's name?
Brittany, you want to get a picture? My name's Brittany.
Okay.
The missing girl was Gabrielle Lynn Yulaki, though most people called her Brittany. On the night of March 8, 2020, her father, Jim Yulaki, called police after Brittany failed to return home as expected. According to Jim, he and Brittany had been at his band's practice on Hillside Drive in Elko, when Brittany said someone was giving her a ride home and that she would head back early. Brittany left with a friend, but when Jim later returned to the family home in South Fork, the house was completely empty and Brittany's phone was no longer reachable.
She was supposed to be going home yesterday. She was in town with her dad.
Okay.
And she told him, I'm going to get a ride home with a friend. I'll beat you home. And he says, you better beat me because I'll be there in an hour. And she goes, we're going right home.
Talking about coming here?
Do you know her dad lives in South Fork? We're split up.
Okay.
The person who picked Brittany up that afternoon was Bryce Edward Dickey, a childhood friend she trusted. According to Bryce, instead of driving Brittany home, the two spent hours driving around the Spring Creek area before Brittany allegedly asked to be dropped off at the Spring Creek High School parking lot around 4:30 p.m. to meet a new friend. Bryce claimed he watched Brittany walk toward a dark blue Ford F-150 before he drove away.
Her friend that had her, I talked to him. He dropped her off at the high school down here at 4 o'clock with some guy. And I go, what guy? And he goes, I don't know. She just said my new friend. Tall, white, cowboy-looking guy with a green truck. And now nobody can find her. None of her friends. Her phone's not on.
Okay.
Nothing. Not a friend. None of her friends. Her best friends. Nobody can find her.
That night, police asked Jim whether he wanted to officially report Brittany as a runaway or a missing person, but he refused. According to him, Brittany always stayed in contact with family and had almost never disappeared without telling anyone first. That was exactly why the unanswered calls that night started becoming far more frightening.
And her dad was getting ready to leave, and she wanted to go with Bryce. And he said, but Brittany, I'm getting ready to leave. And she said, that's okay, I'll still beat you home, meaning she would beat him to South Fork, because she stays out there with him. And he called me, panicking, and he's like, well, mad at first. And he goes, why isn't she answering her phone? And I was like, I don't know, I've been trying to call her, because we just lost our dog, too, okay? Mm-hmm. So I was trying to call her to go look at the dog, and I couldn't get her, and then he called me, and he was like, where the hell's Brittany? I can't get her to answer the phone. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought she was with you. And he goes, no, she left to go with Bryce and was supposed to be right home.
So she was supposed to be staying in South Fork last night at Dad's house.
Yeah.
Jim was also worried that Brittany would continue being labeled because of a drug possession incident that had happened about 3 months earlier, so he still refused to file an official report even after officers explained that runaway and missing juvenile cases were handled the same way. Phone data later showed that the last contact between Brittany and her mother, Alicia, happened around 1:30 p.m. on March 8 and lasted nearly 30 minutes. After that call, Brittany got into Bryce's vehicle, and her final known movements ended at the Spring Creek High School parking lot. Brittany's brother, James, also contacted Bryce, since they attended the same school.
Bryce told me that he dropped her off at the school at like around 4:30, and that she got into the truck with some guy, and there's like a green early 2000s F-150.
No idea. I have no idea what she's doing, what she's thinking. I know she thinks she's invincible, and she's not.
Brittany's family later mentioned a man named Chris Meza, 19 years old, who they believed had been following Brittany since the previous year and continued appearing around her even though she did not want contact with him. According to Brittany's mother, just 2 days before she disappeared, Chris approached her again, causing Brittany to return home in a panic and break down crying.
Is it worth mentioning that we had a big problem with a low-life piece of shit last summer that tried to rape my daughter, and he's still running around in Elko? Do you need to know that?
Who is it?
His name is Chris Meza. And she came into my work 2 nights ago just crying because he came up to her and
Mezza? Why your daughter would get in a truck with this individual?
he wouldn't get in the truck with her, but I don't trust these. I mean, he's like 19, and he tried to hurt her last year, and then he won't leave her alone. He terrorizes her every time he sees her.
Was there a police report last year?
There was, and when it came time for the detective to have her come in and talk, she couldn't do it. She just fell to pieces and couldn't do it.
Okay.
Brittany's family later explained that Chris Meza had started pursuing her the previous year when he was 18 and Brittany was only 15. According to the family, Chris seemed to believe Brittany liked older guys because she had previously dated someone named Isaiah. Even so, Brittany repeatedly showed that she wanted no contact with Chris, but because there had never been any formal report or restraining order, he continued appearing around her. Brittany's mother later read messages between Brittany and her best friend, Cheyenne Fry, where Brittany repeatedly complained about Chris trying to contact her even though she did not want to see him.
This is from her best friend, okay? Now mind you, Isaiah works at Subway. She says, I am so sorry I didn't have Messenger and download it until this morning to see your message. I talked to her a lot yesterday, about 5 times. She was waiting for Bryce to come get her at Subway, where Isaiah works. I don't know what could have happened because she tells me everything, Alicia, I swear, good or bad. She would have told me if she was running away or if she was meeting someone.
So now we know she went to Subway yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
She was at Subway waiting for Bryce, like afterwards?
Yeah.
After the whole dropping?
I don't know. This is just what I got. This is just the message.
At that point, nobody knew whether Brittany was actually planning to meet Isaiah or someone completely different that afternoon. But there was one person who knew more about her final hours than anyone else, Bryce Edward Dickey. At 2:52 p.m. on March 9th, the Elko County Sheriff's Office officially issued a missing juvenile alert for Brittany, and her photo quickly spread across social media. As pressure began growing and more people questioned why there was no Amber Alert, investigators focused all attention on the last person known to have driven Brittany away from the band practice, Bryce Dickey.
Hey Bryce.
How's it going?
Good, man. I appreciate you meeting me here.
Yeah, no problem.
So, run me through it so I can understand what's going on. So, I'm going to stand in the shade over here if you don't mind.
Alright, so Sunday, around 11,
Okay.
I started texting, got a few texts from Brittany, just asked if I wanted to hang out. I said sure, got ready and stuff. Told me she could meet me at Angel Park because she said her dad was doing band practice. And then picked her up at Angel Park, asked what she wanted to do. Said she had no idea, said, why don't we just go drive around in Spring Creek since we got more room over there. So we went back over the hill, just started chatting, talked about her finishing school, how school was going for me. Kept driving around, and then we were over in the Horse Palace section, and my dad called me asking if I could come back home. So I told her I needed to go. Asked her if she wanted me to just drop her back off at Angel Park, and she said that she wanted me to drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend. And the F-150 was over there, but I didn't know that was where she was going at that time.
According to Bryce, before getting out of the car, Brittany said she would call her father later that evening and asked Bryce to come back and pick her up after meeting the new friend. Bryce claimed the two hugged before she stepped out of the vehicle. As he drove away, he said he could still see Brittany standing beside a dark green Ford F-150 Triton single cab, along with the man she was supposedly meeting that afternoon.
So you said what was the F-150?
Yeah, it was the the Tritons, the ones that are really ugly looking, have the like side step in them.
Okay. Like that winter green, dark forest green.
Like a dark forest green.
Okay.
It looked completely stock because it wasn't very tall at all. The windows didn't look tinted at all to me.
Were they rolled down or were they up?
Up.
Okay.
It looked decently dirty, but just like about as much as that truck is right there.
A typical truck that's
Yeah, typical Spring Creek truck.
at this time of year. Okay.
Yeah,
So you say it was right over here, and then you drove out that way.
yeah.
How do you see the stickers in the back window if it's parked over there and you're headed out that way?
No, because I came in, followed the Maverick way in because I only go into the Maverick way because I don't like that turnoff.
Okay.
So I came in on the base and then pulled in through here.
Okay. So you came in the Maverick way. And what time was that? You said.
I dropped her off right around 4:30.
Okay.
The first person who felt something was wrong was Brittany's best friend, Cheyenne, after Brittany suddenly stopped responding to messages. According to Cheyenne, this behavior was completely unlike Brittany, so she immediately messaged Bryce asking where Brittany was.
She told me that she couldn't get a hold of Brittany or anything, and then I told her that I dropped her off, and then she asked me if I knew who it was. I didn't. I asked her if she knew, and she didn't.
This was not the first time Bryce had spoken with police about Brittany. The first officer handling the missing person case had called Bryce the very night she disappeared. But just 2 days earlier, Bryce had also spoken with a sergeant about Brittany, and that conversation later stood out clearly in the officer's memory.
So why did I get information that you told one of the other sergeants that you spoke to the guy over here? Why did you tell him that?
I haven't told any deputies or anything that I would talk to a guy over there.
Okay. You didn't tell the sergeant that you confronted the guy?
No,
I'm sure about that.
I am 100% positive, sir. Me and my friend Cody and a few other my friends, we all went out searching that same night for her. We went around, came around the high school, went to behind Sage and started running lights, so we went to go check it out. Ended up being another deputy. And then,
Cody?
Huh?
You're talking Cody?
Cody Miles, my friend.
Cody Miles?
Yeah.
One of the guys that's in your car?
Yeah, he's in my passenger seat.
Okay.
During that conversation with police 2 days before Brittany disappeared, Bryce was sitting inside a red Dodge pickup truck with another teenager named Cody. Bryce explained that Brittany constantly used Snapchat, and when asked whether she had a boyfriend, both of them claimed she had been talking to a guy from New York.
The guy she's talked to for a while that I think lives over in New York or something like that. I don't know.
Why do you think that?
Because I swear she said New York, but I do not remember. Same thing as that's what we pretty much heard. Because she used to brag about him. She had like a promise ring or something from him.
A year earlier, Brittany had appeared in a video showing her fighting 2 girls during a horse riding event. Brittany, dressed in white, confronted both girls at once before the video quickly spread around town. From that moment on, Brittany became well known in the small community, but along with that came constant rumors involving drugs and underage drinking, things that seemed to follow her everywhere.
Like, what do you mean on the upside? Doing drinking, beer, drugs?
Drugs. From what I was told, they were dealing drugs.
Where did you guys go? I mean, you said you were with her for how long?
Dropped her off at 4:30, so that's three and a half hours.
Okay. So I'm sure that you didn't drive around for 3.5 hours, because that's a waste of gas.
No, I drove around for 3.5 hours.
When Bryce claimed he had spent 3.5 hours driving around with Brittany on the day she disappeared, investigators began feeling that the story didn't make sense. Things became even harder to reconcile after police discovered Snapchat photos of Brittany inside a vehicle with 2 unknown men, while Bryce insisted she left with a tall white cowboy. At that point, Bryce's timeline was starting to show obvious holes.
So, whose vehicle and whose dudes was she with on her Snapchat?
I don't know, I didn't look at her Snap. I'm like, I literally was sitting at home watching TV when she texted me, and I normally don't scroll through stories.
Okay, well, where are you? You okay? Answer the phone. What time was that?
That was 6:14 and 6:20.
That actually shows yesterday.
No, so it says it at the top. So there's Sunday, and then yesterday, same thing as I still sent streaks.
Phone data showed that Bryce and Brittany had maintained a 70-day Snapchat streak, communicating almost constantly. Bryce said they were close, like siblings, and that he often referred to Brittany as his little sister. But while examining Bryce's phone, investigators discovered another photo of Brittany standing with a girl nobody recognized. What stood out was that detectives had already spoken to several of Brittany's friends, yet nobody knew who the girl was.
It's one of her friends. She comes here sometimes, but I think she lives in Carson or something like that. I honestly don't know her name. I've only met her like once.
The girl in the photo was later identified as Sequara Barnes, who lived in Texas and had known mutual friends with Brittany. That was why her name had never surfaced during earlier interviews, even though Bryce claimed Sequara was actually one of Brittany's closest out-of-town friends. Bryce continued insisting that most of the day had simply been spent driving around, but by this point investigators began pressing much harder on the details of his timeline.
In that 3 hours of being together, you had to talk about a lot.
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about?
So we started off talking about, because I'd heard that she'd finished all her credits in homeschool and that she was going to get her degree. So then talked about that, talked about how school was going for me, issues I had at school earlier last week. I talked about how my mom was doing, because my mom has health issues. Talked about how my dad was doing, my brothers. She mentioned that after the summer, she was going to move down to Texas with her friend, the one that I showed you in the picture.
Okay.
But that's the only place she mentioned towards going. I didn't think about that.
According to Bryce, Brittany had talked about wanting to leave Nevada and move to Texas to live with Sequara Barnes. But the more Bryce answered questions, the more hesitant he became, repeatedly stopping to think about how to phrase things, making investigators feel like major pieces of his story were still missing. Even so, at that point they still did not have a clear enough contradiction to prove Bryce was lying. Not long after, Brittany's mother, Alicia, received a message from an unknown number claiming Brittany was being held hostage and demanding $7,000 in gift cards. The sender also claimed Brittany was sick and that things would get worse if the family refused to pay. But when investigators traced the number, they discovered it was nothing more than an automated spoofing service, created after Alicia's phone number had been widely shared across social media and missing person flyers. Later that same day, while deputies continued reviewing surveillance footage and following leads connected to Brittany and Bryce, a member of a civilian search group near the Burner Basin area suddenly received a call reporting that a body had just been discovered. Deputies immediately rushed to the scene.
It looks like a human head to me. Yeah, it looks like a chest cavity in the dark footy or something. We walked over here on this side. I'm pretty sure that's their drag marks there.
William Cooper and Eric Thacker, two volunteer searchers, were driving along dirt trails near the Burner Basin area searching for Brittany. While checking close to the edge of a dirt road, the two discovered large red stains along with visible drag marks on the ground leading deeper north into the desert area.
But I stopped right here. He parked right there where he's at. I stopped and I backed up right there. So I don't know if you guys do the tire print and all that, or if that's all TV.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole bunch of stuff like that if that's what it is.
My shoes.
We'll get a statement from you guys here in a second, so.
All right. That's not good. Oh, that's a 1092. That's a body.
Yeah.
Let's get out.
Yep.
I can see enough right now. Looks like a girl's hand. Let's back out.
Following the trail, they discovered a body lying in the open desert terrain and also found cash scattered nearby.
Did you touch anything out there?
No, I did not.
Don't touch it.
There's a $5 bill laying there too. I don't know if you guys can get fingerprints off of it.
So, we'll get that.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, we'll process the whole thing.
All right.
Hey, Nick. We got a female body. We have a female body. I don't know if it's her or what, but we have a female body out behind Burner Basin.
After the scene was secured and turned over to forensic investigators, deputies went to Jim Yulaki's home to inform him that the body discovered at Burner Basin had been identified as Brittany. Initial identification was based on recent photographs of her, the color of her fingernail polish, and several piercings on her body, including a belly button piercing and nose ring.
on the phone, okay? And I just want to let you know that we have found the body.
I'm gonna pass out. Can you get me some help? Can you get me some help?
Yep,
Can
there's
you
some
get me-
people. Okay.
Can you get me some help? Oh my God, give me some help.
At the scene, investigators also recovered a keychain with the name Brittany lying beside the body. Brittany's body was found partially unclothed and covered with a tarp. When the body was taken for autopsy on March 13th, forensic examiners discovered ligature marks around her neck, multiple injuries to the scalp and behind the ear, along with a stab wound to the neck that had severed the carotid artery. After the autopsy, investigators immediately contacted Bryce again and requested that he come to the sheriff's office. Bryce arrived with his father and stated that the family felt the previous interviews had been confrontational. Detectives then explained that Bryce was free to leave at any time before bringing him into the interview room. At this point, Bryce appeared calm and composed.
How was it that you knew to pick her up? What was going on that day?
I was just hanging out at home, and then we were Snapchatting each other.
Okay.
I think around 11, I think. And then we were talking, and then she asked if I wanted to hang out. So then I told her I'd get ready, and she told me that her dad was having band practice, so she said she'd meet me at Angel Park.
And what's your relationship with her?
Brittany's been one of my closest friends since probably my 7th, 8th grade year.
Oh, 'cause you've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and that was one of the issues we had with the cop previously is, like we were going over, because her phone of mine, her name in my phone is Little Sis, because she's called me Big Brother since like freshman year.
Bryce and Brittany were close, but just friends.
And what I'm getting at is, I mean, are you guys in any type of dating relationship at all?
No.
No. Okay. So it wasn't like, hey, let's go hang out and go party.
No.
Okay. All right. Nothing like that.
That Sunday, Brittany wanted to hang out. Bryce picked her up from the Angel Park parking lot.
Standing right in the middle of the parking lot on the phone.
At Angel Park?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So she's in the parking lot on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pick her up, and what were you driving at that time?
It was my 93 Chevy Silverado.
93 Chevy Silverado?
Yeah.
Okay. What color is that?
I'm slightly rough on the color, but I'm pretty sure it's like really dark blue, but it looks black.
Okay, all right, so dark in color.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Bryce claimed that Brittany often had conflicts with different people and frequently found herself in trouble, but he insisted there was nothing that made him think something like this would happen.
No, when you say a lot of people had, did she have, and now is not the time to hold back words, man. Did she have a bad reputation or something like that?
With a lot, because she used to get in a lot of fights, and a lot of people didn't like, Brittany was a very straightforward person.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't like that because she was very blunt and honest.
Okay.
So a lot of people disliked her.
Detectives continued questioning Bryce about the 3-hour drive they allegedly took together, hoping nearby surveillance cameras may have captured parts of the route.
Where did you go after you picked her up? What was the plan there?
We didn't have a plan at that point, so
Okay.
we were kind of just driving around. So I went up Mountain City Highway, and then I turned off towards Walmart, cruised up past Mountain View. Just kind of my normal route when I'm bored in town and drive around.
Okay. And she was still with you all the time?
Yeah, she was still with me this
Okay.
time. I had to go back home to my dad's house, so I asked her if she wanted me to drop her off back at Angel Park or where her dad was having practice. And then she was on her phone for about 30 seconds-ish, and then asked me if she drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend.
Do you remember approximately what time that was that you dropped her off at the high school?
I just remember it was right around 4:30, so I don't remember the exact time.
Okay. Now, if I correct me if I'm wrong, now you said that you had to go back home, right?
Yes.
Did you have a time that you had to be back home?
No, I didn't have a specific time, but I was at my dad's house, and I had to go back to my mom's house that night.
Up to that point, Bryce's account still mostly matched what he had previously told investigators. But the longer he answered questions, the more detectives realized that small details in Bryce's story were beginning to change.
Kind of explain to me, did you drop her off like right next to his ride, or how did that go down?
I dropped her off right here because I didn't know. I just pulled up to the high school because I didn't know where I was going, And then, so I got right here, and then she grabbed her keys, gave me a hug, said, "Love you, bye," and then got out of the truck, and then, so I pulled it in reverse, started pulling out this way, and then she walked over to that F-150, and then by the time I'd gotten back out and onto the highway, the F-150 was pulling out.
So you went back out the same way you came in over?
Yeah, no, I don't come out that way.
You don't even go out that way. Okay, all right. So you basically made a loop then, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then heading back out towards Maverick. Okay, and so you see the green F-150?
Yeah.
Because the deputies told me that initially when they spoke with you, you had provided a description of someone that may have been the driver of that truck?
They kept saying I gave a description, but literally the only thing I saw was a cowboy hat. That was it.
Okay, so you couldn't tell if he was tall, short, fat, skinny, anything like that?
The hat looked towards the top of the cab, so I said that, and they took it as tall.
And then she had her phone at that time too, right?
Yeah, all she had, at least that I didn't notice anything else besides her keys and her phone. I think they're calling him JT, the guy that I've seen on posters everywhere. I found out yesterday that people were looking for a guy in Lemoyle named JT. He goes by JT.
Okay.
But besides a few of my friends knowing him, because I guess he's a ranch hand out there.
Okay.
I haven't found anyone that knew anything about the new friend or anything about him.
Detectives continued pressing Bryce for more details about the man at the school parking lot that afternoon. At the same time, rumors began spreading across town about a cowboy named JT driving a green Ford F-150. But despite checking multiple leads, investigators were unable to find anyone matching that description.
I've heard rumors back and forth, but
there's a lot of rumors going on, yeah.
Yeah, all I've heard is that they were looking for a guy named JT because he was cowboy, tall, and drove a green F-150. That was all I got told.
But you don't know that for sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of Bryce's friends, Bodie Wilson, claimed he knew who JT was.
Okay, so he didn't say that he worked with him on a specific ranch or anything like
No,
that?
he didn't give me any specific. He just gave me very, very vague details.
Gotcha, okay.
One of Bryce's friends, Bodie Wilson, claimed he knew who JT was and said the man had started acting very strange before suddenly disappearing. But the more rumors surfaced, the more investigators realized that nobody could actually locate JT, and by this point, the entire town wanted to know what had really happened to Brittany.
When you showed up, did you have anybody else with you when you picked her up?
No, it was just me.
And then I'm not sure, but I thought you said you guys went to eat after you picked her up? No? Okay, you just went up Mountain City Highway and then by the school and then down Fifth Street.
Because we didn't stop anywhere. After I picked her up, we literally just straight drove around.
Is there anything on your phone that you would be concerned with us finding?
No.
No, okay. Do you have any problem if we take a look at your phone just to make sure that we're good to go?
Yeah.
Bryce agreed to provide a DNA sample before the interview ended. Only about 20 minutes later, search teams discovered Brittany's iPhone in the Burner Basin area, roughly half a mile from where her body had been found, and the phone appeared to have been almost completely destroyed. Shortly afterward, Brittany's close friend Cheyenne Fry told investigators she had still been receiving Snapchat messages from Brittany between approximately 3:30 and 4 p.m. on March 8th. In the photos, Brittany was sitting inside a vehicle with Bryce, wearing the silver earrings with turquoise crosses she had borrowed from Cheyenne, along with her familiar iPhone earbuds. Cheyenne also mentioned a Wiccan-style ring, but none of those items were found on Brittany's body. On March 14th, investigators returned to the scene and discovered another pair of white earbuds hanging from sagebrush near the body location, about 60 feet from where a condom wrapper had been found. At the same time, phone records began destroying Bryce's timeline. Call logs showed Brittany calling Bryce at 2:37 p.m. and Bryce calling her back at 3:15 p.m., even though Bryce had previously claimed they were together continuously from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. CCTV footage later captured Brittany appearing at the Angel Park parking lot around 3:20 p.m., waiting before Bryce's Dodge pickup truck arrived to pick her up. Then at 5:43 p.m., that same truck was captured on camera driving toward Burner Basin, despite Bryce previously insisting he had never been to that area. At that point, investigators decided to bring Bryce back into the interview room and read him his Miranda rights before continuing.
One other question. If you could say something to Brittany, what would you say?
Easy. I love you. That'd be the first thing I would say.
What about the second?
No, I'm sorry. Because I kind of blame myself for all this. Even though, well,
you blame yourself.
I mean, I know that I didn't know what was going to happen, but I mean, I'm the last one that freaking saw her before she's dead.
Well, I'm kind of confused about a couple things. So round one, you pick her up at Angel Park, and then you come into Boyd Kennedy Road entrance to the school at about what time again?
Around 4:30.
About 4:30. Okay. So we got some surveillance footage from Angel Park. But down here is the time, and that was 15:20?
Yep. I don't know what time it is.
3:20.
Oh, okay.
2 hours military time.
Okay.
2 hours after you said. Yeah, so it's a little bit later than what you said, so I'm just kind of confused, and I want to clear that up with you a little bit. Because that's her walking across the street. And
I might be off of my timestamps. The only timestamp that I personally have is on my phone of what time I called her when I got on her. So
that's 2 hours.
Literally the entire time I was with her, I was not on my phone.
Do you see where?
I can see where they could be concerned. I understand that, sir.
Investigators continued reviewing surveillance footage from the Maverick gas station and discovered that the route Bryce drove did not match his original statement at all. When confronted, Bryce began changing his story, now claiming this had actually been the route he intended to take from the beginning. But by this point, the surveillance footage was reconstructing the timeline more clearly than Bryce's own account ever could.
So if you look right here, you can see. Let me come over here. So right over here.
Right there.
Yeah, right there. Oh, that's your truck right there. About.
Is it smudged together since it's so far away?
Yeah.
I think so, because I have a long bed that's on.
Yeah, so this is the Boyd Kennedy Road right here. That's your truck.
Yeah.
That's your truck going down Boyd Kennedy Road.
Entrance to the middle school and stuff is right here. That goes into the parking lot. And then there's the wrestling gym, which is right there. And then it cuts right and goes right to the middle school. Okay. So that's what I went through.
That's not what you said.
No, I said I went through the Boyd entrance. I didn't.
Across from the Maverick.
Yeah.
By now, investigators knew Bryce was lying. Surveillance cameras confirmed he had driven directly toward the crime scene area, despite repeatedly insisting he had never been there. The truth was beginning to tear apart the entire story he had created.
What if I told you we had surveillance footage that appears your truck kept going out Boyd Kennedy Road?
I didn't go down Boyd Kennedy Road.
I just want to kind of clear everything up and get your explanation for this, okay? Because you seem like a decent guy. We've been sitting here chatting and stuff like that, okay? And I just want to kind of help you through this so that way we can kind of explain this stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't remember though. I got startled after the third cop I talked to, the one that called me down to the high school, because called me a liar about 3 times and kept asking me if I killed Brittany. So
Somebody asked you if you killed Brittany?
A deputy did.
Oh, okay.
And it honestly startled the shit out of me. And I don't want to. I know I'm only been 18 for a little bit now, but I know I'm 18 now, so even changing a little bit on the story isn't a big thing.
Well, it is what it is. Okay, that's why I'm trying to sort through it. Okay.
Yeah, so when he talked to me, and I went down Boyd a little bit, but not far, and then I took that first left off of the Boyd Kennedy, which goes straight back to the right to the bottom of the trailer section, and then went back to the high school, but being at Boyd Kennedy at the same time, which I'm missing, it worried me because I didn't want him. So I lied because I was scared of people thinking it was going to be me. which a lot of people
Well,
still do.
that's understandable.
You're the last person to see her alive.
Yeah, which
So,
honestly scares me, but I see that there's issues with me not telling 100%.
You need to be 100% honest. And you need to let everything out.
so when you said you took that first left off of Boyd Kennedy, was Brittany in the car with you at that time?
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
I kind of have like a set little thing of loops that I do when I get bored driving around Spring Creek. So, and that's one of the ones that I do a lot. And but being so close to being on Boyd Kennedy, and as soon as people were saying that's where she went missing, I kind of got scared.
But at this point, investigators were still holding back another piece of evidence, and this was something Bryce could not escape simply by changing his story again. Because this time, the thing working against him was physical evidence.
I have one other concern.
Okay.
We located some items, or an item. Okay. Do you have any idea what that item might be?
No.
Okay. What if I told you that it had both yours and Brittany's DNA on it?
What would that be?
Do you have any idea?
No.
Now's the time to be truthful.
I'm being 100% sir. I don't know what you're referring to.
On 03/17, the same day Brittany's memorial service took place, the crime lab returned the DNA results from the scene. Brittany's DNA was found on the outside of the condom, while Bryce's DNA was found inside it.
Explain to me how a condom has your DNA on the inside and her DNA on the outside. Because that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense, and I don't.
And you can understand my concerns that, you know, I've been truthful with you, okay, and I know
Sure.
I know this is really stressful, okay. I can't imagine where you're at, all right, but we'll get through this together, okay. And I need you to help me help you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
You guys trying to get a confession with me killing Brittany?
I'm trying to figure out how your DNA got on the inside that has her DNA on the outside. I need to figure out what happened with that.
At this point, Bryce finally admitted he had been lying. During questioning, Bryce nearly blurted out that everything had happened along the Boyd Kennedy Road area, close to where Brittany's body had been found. Bryce claimed Brittany had thrown away the condom herself, while he only discarded the wrapper. But GPS data showed both of their phones appearing only a few hundred feet from the crime scene shortly before Brittany disappeared. Location data also showed Bryce driving back towards Spring Creek about an hour after the final photo of Brittany had been taken. By this stage, Bryce's statements were collapsing under their own contradictions, and investigators believed Bryce could not accept being rejected by Brittany.
So everything we just talked about, if you were me, what would you think about all that?
I think you guys already know what I think you would think.
And what is that?
That I'm lying about everything. I mean, I'm smart enough to know that's what you guys are thinking.
Oh, I think you're very smart. From the position I sit in, okay, like I said, there's only that one chance that you have with me to tell me the truth. Because so far, you haven't told me the truth. And I think we both know that.
Sure.
Okay. And then the thing I'm concerned about is that everything you've told me just does not add up. Okay?
Okay.
And I think you're very smart. You know that. Okay? So, help me figure out what the truth is. But I need to hear that from you.
Bryce continued changing his story. This time, he claimed he had dropped Brittany off on the side of the road before leaving. But by now, nearly every detail in Bryce's story had begun changing each time investigators introduced new evidence.
I don't know how that happened. Because Brittany was still alive by the time I had dropped her off on the road with whoever the guy was. I just wasn't thinking at all. And I dropped her off and I literally just drove off. You do have to know, but I'm telling you that I had never met this guy.
Okay.
Which Brittany gets new friends every month, and I didn't really think much of it.
You've told us several different versions. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you really expect me to believe that you met a guy and you just dropped Brittany off with him, and you don't know who that was. You're a smart guy. I'm a smart guy. Okay.
I've met him, but I honestly don't know who he is.
So I need you to be honest with me.
Unable to provide an effective explanation, Bryce suddenly changed tactics, claiming he knew who the real killer was.
Didn't even know the kid was back in town. It was the Chaz Randall kid is the one who picked her up. Which I didn't even know he was back in town. So I swear it was Chaz Randall, because that kid's kind of distinguishable. But
so you're telling me Chaz Randall met you on the road? I told you.
What?
And you've known that Chaz Randall killed Brittany all this time, and you're just waiting to say something?
Brittany Yulaki did not mysteriously disappear. The person who killed her was not some unknown stranger, but a monster she once trusted. The constantly changing statements, the surveillance footage, the GPS data, the phone thrown into the desert, and the road leading through Burner Basin that Bryce repeatedly swore he had never traveled down. In the end, the state of Nevada charged Bryce Dickey with first-degree murder with the use of a deadly weapon. The jury found Bryce guilty on all major charges. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 46 years. Bryce later appealed the conviction, but the Nevada Supreme Court upheld the verdict. At 2:45 p.m. on March 16, 2022 in Tyler, Texas, police rushed to a dental office after reports that 2 dentists had been shot by their own patient. By the time the first units arrived, the suspect had already fled the scene and disappeared in a pickup truck.
Check out towels and stuff?
Hey, let me grab some gloves, Chad.
Hey, grab me a pair too.
Yeah.
I have EMS on the line right now.
Okay. Okay, where's he head at?
He's got
We got 2 patients down.
Most of our doctors.
What's his name?
Dr. Burroughs. EMS. Jack Burroughs.
When officers entered the clinic, they found Dr. Jack Burroughs, 75, and Dr. Blake Sinclair, 59, collapsed with multiple gunshot wounds. According to witnesses, a patient had angrily walked out moments earlier, only to return seconds later and open fire on both doctors before fleeing in a pickup truck. Both dentists were rushed to the hospital but died a short time later.
So there was at least 2 shots on the right, on his right side.
Where was his first victim when he got here?
So one was right there, and they already had him curled over to his side. This one was right here. He was also on his side, but they had us roll him over on his back to do chest compressions.
Okay, I'll go. I can knock that out.
But yeah, like I said, his arm was only skin holding his arm on there.
The first one?
That was the one that was right here. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't.
According to witnesses and clinic staff, the suspect had been a patient there for about a year and was reportedly known for being difficult and constantly causing problems over his dentures. Employees said the man repeatedly complained and was never satisfied with the results. The dentists had reportedly decided to end treatment after completing his final set of dentures. Just minutes after that conversation, the man walked out to his truck and returned with a firearm.
I'm gonna go ahead and go to the office. Once I get that nugget of information, I'll get it to you.
Because what I need, I need the victims' names. I need to know who.
One of them's gonna
all
be
that
the doctor.
Stuff. So I need to.
One of them, the first one was Dr. Sinclair, whatever his first name is. The other one they said was Blake Shelton. Is that what they said his name?
Or Blake Smith, I think.
Blake Smith.
Yeah, I'm gonna need.
I'll get you victims' information, and I'll put.
I need witness.
I'll get a witness name that states who our suspect is.
Yes.
But for right now, if we can at least get a search warrant for the suspect, we know the vehicle's positively ID'd, and he's at the house registered to him, and Swinford watched him leave his vehicle and go inside the house.
Okay. How do we know he's the suspect? That's the biggest thing.
They provide, when they called 911, they provided his vehicle description and license plate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then they found out.
We went to the house the license plate returns to, and he pulled up.
Yeah, obviously he was here this morning, so I think the PC in the house is.
Yeah.
That's good.
They said the suspect got into that vehicle and left, and that vehicle pulled up at that house.
Gotcha.
So that'll get us.
After witnesses provided the license plate number, police quickly tracked the suspect to a residence about 7 miles from the clinic. An officer later saw the man drive into the driveway and walk straight inside the house. Shortly afterward, police and the SWAT team began setting up a perimeter around the residence in preparation for a possible armed confrontation.
I just called him. I showed up a minute ago. So I sent Lieutenant over there to...
He's what?
He's in the back room of the house. Parents are talking to him now.
About 5 o'clock.
While SWAT surrounded the home, the suspect's parents arrived at the perimeter and called their son, trying to convince him to come outside and surrender peacefully.
Alright, he's supposed to be coming out with his hands up. We got moving up front. If I can hold. Call him to us. Now hold on. Give them fans come towards the MRAP.
Hey, no, pull him this way.
Hey, pull him toward the south. Come to us. We got to react to the south. Tell him to look to his right.
You got a belt on? You got like a utility communicator? Hey, where's that shield?
I'll go contact if y'all will cover.
Hey, that utility thing looks like it goes all the way down to the pocket. I don't know if it's a knife or what it is. Hey, come to us! Keep coming backwards! Keep coming backwards! Keep your hands on, just keep walking backwards! I'm gonna stand up. Hey, Darty, we're gonna pull him on this side. We're pulling to you. Pull him. Come back, Darty! Darty, push back! Hold what you got, Darty! Darty, back up! Keep coming back! Keep coming back! Keep coming back, Darty, we're gonna bring him to us. Come on! Come to the right, stop!
I'll clear out my back seat. Everybody hold what you got. L310-4. Alright, everybody copy that. Suspect in custody. Anybody else in the house? Anybody else in the house? Anybody else in the house? You got Buddy on the house? You want to take pictures? I saw that. You want to take pictures of it on? Yes. They said no one else is supposed to be in the house. Back up behind the barricade. Move back. Hey, take it back, please. Yeah. We're going to clear the house.
Police later identified the man taken into custody as Stephen Alexander Smith, 40, a former military serviceman and the primary suspect in the double homicide at the Tyler Dental office.
We're right here. We got to react ready. Yeah, I don't have anybody here for that. It's going to be the react team. County doesn't have all the personnel yet. They're requesting us. Be advised, they're supposed to be a red ball now in the house. Alright, everybody else, just hold what you got until we clear this. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Hey, I'm around. This is Hudson. Body cam's on, going. We're gonna move up to the front driveway. You're good, man. Just relax. Just relax.
While searching Stephen, officers discovered he was wearing body armor underneath his clothes. But that was not all. After searching his home, investigators also found multiple firearms, ammunition, holsters, and tactical gear inside the suspect's bedroom.
And I've got a team that's ready to clear. Just walking up with it. Are y'all ready? You got shields? Some shields? Yep, got a shield. Alright. Alright, I'm moving. Great. Alright, on you, Grissom.
hang out with the county guy, assistant, if you need.
All right. Hey, we're gonna go get on this side. We're gonna approach on this side.
Hey, come on backwards. Don't put them in mine. Come on, go over this way. What about the other side of this truck right here, buddy? Your name's Steven, right? Yes. Steve, I'm gonna treat you right, all right? I'm not gonna treat you bad or anything. Hey, have a seat up in there for me. You hot? You're good, you're good, you're good. Take your time, take your time. You hot?
I'm sweating a little bit.
Hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the air on this door so it'll cool off in here. There's a vent up here. I'm gonna open the vent up so that it'll start cooling off, okay? I'm gonna roll this window down. Keys. They're keys. Hey, I'm gonna leave them right there for right now. I'm gonna shut this door so you can cool off a little bit, all right?
Steven is secured in a patrol car, but moments later, one officer returns to read him his Miranda rights.
Hey, Steven, while you're cooling off, buddy, I'm gonna read you something, okay? This is your Miranda warning, all right? And you have the right to terminate the interview at any time. You understand each of these rights I've read to you?
I guess I'd like to exercise my right to remain silent.
Okay, yeah. Hey, I'm not going to ask you any questions. I'm just going to let you sit here for a little bit and let you cool off, okay? Hey, you need some water?
Yes, please.
Let me see if I can find some water, okay? Hey, we got any water?
Don't have any on me.
Anybody got any water in your truck, Lindsay?
Steven decides to remain silent and requests some water, the first of many similar requests to come.
All right, I got you a bottle of water, man. It's not cold, but it's water, okay? It's okay. Breaking the seal for you. All right. There you go. Tell me when, all right? I'll let you. I'll let you have more. I'm just gonna let you come up for air, man. I didn't want to drown you. Is it cooling off in here? Okay.
After being read his Miranda rights, Steven chose to remain silent and asked for water. He was then transported to police headquarters for questioning.
Alright, I'm gonna shut this again so you get cooled somewhere.
Next, Steven is escorted to the police station for questioning.
Alright, buddy? Yeah. Alright, hey, come out this way. Spin around this way. Okay, we'll walk this way. Walk up this door. Step up, big step. And go around to the right, all the way into the hall. I'm gonna take a left at the end of the hall and go in here. All right, hey buddy, I'll wait till somebody else comes in here before I take them off you. 1 second. Yes, sir.
Don't take the handcuffs off.
Okay. We gotta wait for a few minutes, all right? You want to have a seat in one of these chairs? You're welcome to. Need another bottle of water?
Yes, please.
Let me see if I can get one. Can you get me a bottle of water?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Thank you. Hey, bring two. One for me, one for him.
Okay.
Kind of parched, man. Oh. Army? How long did you serve?
11.
11? 11 years? When did you go in?
Just before 9/11.
Oh, really? Hey, it's all right. Hey, take a deep breath, man. It's all right. It's all right. I was in the Army. I was in there in Desert Storm.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It made me grow up. It made me become a man. It made me become responsible.
I didn't have your experiences at all.
Well, I'm pretty sure you didn't. I didn't wind up going over to Kuwait or Iraq or any of the Desert Storm or anything going on over there. I wound up staying here. Wound up going to Fort Hood, training people to go over there. That's where I wound up. And then when the war quit, my contract was up, so I got out. And that's something I wanted to do the rest of my life, so I decided to get out. This is what I wanted to do. This is where I wanted to be, so. What was your MOS?
11 Bravo.
11 Bravo? Oh, man.
4.5 years.
Good Lord.
And then 92 Alpha.
92 Alpha. What's that, Alpha?
That's Automated logistics.
Okay. I was a 54 Bravo 10, the chemical operations. You had NBC NCO. I wasn't NBC NCO. I was in a chemical company, and we had tracked vehicles. I was assigned to a smoke platoon, and we stayed at Fort Hood, and also our actual base was Fort Polk, Louisiana, the 5th ID. And anytime anybody went to the field, we were in the field with them.
Yeah, I went to JRTC.
Did you? It's a nice place, isn't it?
Swampy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pison, and was it the other one, Fullerton? The ranges where they train was called Pison, if I'm not mistaken, and the other was Fullerton. Yeah. It's been a while.
Got 2 bottled water coming.
Cool. Cool.
I can set with him now if you got something you need to do.
I just need to go out and turn my body camera off whenever they
Go for it.
they get all this good stuff on. And
Go for it and grab your bottle of water.
hey, he's gonna get you a bottle of water. He ain't forgot about you, and they're gonna give me a bottle of water as well. So I'll be back in a minute. Cool.
Hey, you don't have to go back in there. Okay. Yes.
After a few casual conversations with officers about the military, Stephen was left alone inside the interrogation room waiting for detectives, while officers continued accommodating his requests.
You want to sit down and do it? Be a little bit easier?
I just tip it all the way up.
You just gonna down it? Gotta come up for some air, man. I need you to come up for air. That's it, man. It's all gone. Alright.
There you go. I'm gonna help you drink this. Because your handcuffs aren't coming off right now, okay? Good. Everything. Somebody's been here in a minute.
Hey, Steven. Come on, buddy. You can't do that. You can't do that, alright?
You missed one. You missed one. I got it in my hair clip.
Hair clip.
Yeah, it was on the pouch.
Where's it at?
It's in my right hand.
Alright. Stand up.
I was just trying to get it up.
Stand up. Ready? Yep. Drop it.
Okay. Yep. Sorry, I forgot about it.
You've got it in there for a reason, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I know why. And I understand. Alright.
We need it. I'm getting a little lightheaded.
You getting a little lightheaded?
And nauseous.
Okay. Come on. Have you taken anything today? No? When was the last time you eat?
Yesterday.
Okay. You just feel nauseous? Lightheaded? Okay. Do you have any medical conditions? No? Okay. Alright. Let's do what I do.
Alright, man. Just in case you gotta throw up, okay?
Can I get some more water, please?
Yeah.
At this point, detectives entered the room to interview what they described as the suspect who drank more water after arrest than anyone they had ever encountered.
Hey, Stephen.
Hi.
How are you? My name's Teresa Smith. I'm here. I'm a detective at the Smith County Sheriff's Office, okay? This is Detective Brock. Hello. You okay?
I'm a little lightheaded.
All right. Do you need some water or something?
Yes,
you want me to get you some water? Get your water.
And I'm a little nauseous, which is why they brought this in.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just in case.
And
maybe we'll get your water in just a second.
my shoulders and my wrists are hurting pretty bad.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. let's say this. If I take off your handcuffs.
I'm not going to hurt myself or anyone else, and I'm not going to try to run.
Thank you. Alright. Because I'm okay with doing that as long as I got you in that, okay?
Just go ahead and tip it up.
Okay. It was really full. You need another drink?
Just go ahead and give it all to me.
Okay. Well, hey, look, if I give it to you like that, then I don't want you to throw up. Yeah, we don't want you to. So let's just sip it, okay? I know you're thirsty. Alright, let's get another drink in just a minute, okay? Sometimes if you drink that too fast and your stomach's already bothering you, then...
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we move forward with all that stuff, okay, real quick, I know you've already heard this already, but I'm going to do it again, okay? I'm going to read you a Miranda warning, okay? Alright?
Stephen is reminded of his Miranda rights a second time before detectives attempt questioning.
And during any questioning. And you have the right to terminate the interview at any time. Do you understand these rights I've read you? Okay.
I would go ahead and like to ask for an attorney.
Okay.
To speak prior to the interview.
Okay, alright. So you want an attorney when you get interviewed? Is that what you... Okay. We understand, but...
Prior
yeah,
to.
yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll get you, like I said, we got you some water. Do you need anything? Why do you think you're feeling nauseous right now? I mean, did you eat something?
No, it might just be because I've been drinking too much water, but I'm feeling dehydrated, lightheaded.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is why I've been trying to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
So.
Do you want another drink before we leave?
Yes, please.
Stephen asks for an attorney and abruptly ends the interview before chugging yet another bottle of water.
Okay. That'll probably do you for a little bit.
As investigators prepared to begin the interrogation, Stephen immediately requested an attorney, ending the interview after finishing another bottle of water. The 40-year-old man was later charged with capital murder involving multiple victims and aggravated assault before eventually pleading guilty to murder and receiving a sentence of life in prison.